Hello, my name's Carl Jackson, and some of you may remember me as the founder of Sedona.biz back in, believe it or not, 2006. At the time I started it, the reason was I wanted Sedona.biz to be the internet voice of Sedona, and that's actually what it became. There wasn't a lot of local news on the internet at that time, and Sedona.biz really filled that niche. But as I developed Sedona.biz, I quickly began to realize that not only was there not internet news, but there weren't very many alternative voices in Sedona. Different points of view. There's one major news outlet that sort of controls the narrative, and if you have a differing point of view, you really don't have an opportunity to express it to the wider community. And so Sedona.biz really fit that bill. But of course, back then, I always wanted it to be a business, and so I was interested in advertising and the tourist side. And nowadays, I'm retired, so I'm not interested in paid advertising. My passion really is local interests. And so that brings me to today. Why am I making this video? Well, I'm considering, I haven't 100% committed, depends on how you feel about it. I'm considering starting a new website called SedonaTV.com. And as you can probably guess by the TV part of it, I want it to contain a lot more videos, and specifically video interviews where I can talk to people on city council, people who are local, who are passionate about certain issues, and really get their point of view unfiltered from any author that might write an article. Although I do plan to write articles as well. And right now, I'm interested in starting this website because I am passionate about two issues in Sedona. Short-term rentals is one. The other one's off-highway vehicles, and of course, things like tourism and parking and traffic are all very interesting to me. So a lot of the ideas that I'll come up with and a lot of the interviews will be related to things that come out of City Council. So as many of you may or may not know, our Sedona mayor is championing a new proposed ordinance to limit off-highway vehicles on public roads in Sedona. And that's because OHVs have no federal motor safety vehicle standards at all, zero. I think, and I'm guessing, that a lot of that reason is the manufacturers don't want to pay to make the vehicles safe, which are subject to rollover risk. Their tires aren't approved by the Department of Transportation, and they're very clear. All the industry groups, all the manufacturers, the regulators are very clear that OHVs don't belong on public roads, especially paved roads. Now, when I talk about OHVs, I'm not talking about things like pink Jeep or the Jeep commercial Jeeps or Jeeps in general, which are legal on our roads and are subject to federal motor vehicle safety standards. I'm talking about things like ATVs and UTVs. And if you don't know the difference, an ATV is an all-terrain vehicle. It's a little bit closer to a motorcycle. It has handlebars, I think has a throttle, rides a little higher. And the UTV is what's called a side-by-side or recreational off-highway vehicle that has multiple seats and things of that nature. So they're a little different, but they're the noisy machines we all know and love. And so on May 23rd, the City Council is going to be hosting its first City Council meeting to talk about this proposed ordinance, and I plan to attend, and I plan to give my little talk, my little speech in the public forum, like everybody else, which gives you 3 minutes. And I thought I'd read to you what I plan to say at this meeting. And also, if you want to read any more about it, you can read my article that I wrote and posted in SedonaTV.com. First, let me say thank you to Mayor Jablow and Vice Mayor Plug for demonstrating by your actions that you truly care about the health, safety, and well-being of everyone who drives on Sedona roads. I 100% support the proposed ordinance. I hear a lot about Sedona becoming a nanny state, and that those who drive OHVs have the right to do so on public roadways because they assume the personal risk. But my question is, what about the rest of us? I never hear about motorcycles having rollover risk or low tire pressure and knobby tires that don't properly adhere to the roadway like I do with OHVs. What about my rights? Why do I have to assume the risk that I'll be killed by an ATV driver or UTV driver who shouldn't be driving on any public roads, as clearly stated by manufacturers, leading ATV and UTV industry groups, and regulators? And let's not forget that many of these UTVs have whole families in them, including small children, who have no clue about the risks and don't even know how to use hand signals because these vehicles don't have turn signals. If these vehicles were meant to be on the roads, they'd be subject to federal motor vehicle safety standards, which they are not. Instead of complaining to the city council, how about complaining to the manufacturer? For others like me who want to keep Sedona roads safe, I say thank you. So that's what I intend to say at the May 23rd meeting. And if you're interested in more videos like these and video interviews, let me know. Reach out to, you can email me at sedonatvcom@gmail.com. Thank you.